Hey there, welcome back to Total Geek Live. It's Baltimore, and I am here with my friends Guy, Danny, and Kaiser, and we just happen to be bringing you the goodness that is Doomsday Clock number 2.
Dow.
Kakapow! Yep, we are bringing you our thoughts on the second issue of this DC comic, and let's just break it down for you for right now. It's going to be filled with spoilers because that's how we're rolling with these reviews. So you're prepared and warned. Read the comic, come back in, and listen to what we have to say about it. So let's just start off with it. So this issue hits a lot of really interesting notes. There's a lot of really cool things that happen with it, and it opens up to a lot of really interesting combinations of character dynamics and interactions. So let's just talk about it. Let's just say what's happening.
Let's do that. So I would like to pose a question because I don't want to forget to ask it later. This is kind of jumping, but then we'll come back.
Okay.
Is the mime's power to make things invisible or to make the things he mimes reality?
I think the latter.
I think it's the latter. Although we've yet to get to see it in action.
Well, you do in one.
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah, that is true.
We get the promise of it.
Well, she says, well, does it show them? Okay, hold on.
I don't think it shows them. I think
you're talking about the lockpick.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We haven't seen them escape yet. We just see him get it.
Suggestion. Yes,
I forgot about that. I forgot about that tile.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in that last page.
It's easy to forget it when you see Batman and Rorschach.
Yeah.
Right.
Standing face to face. But that's at the very end. So let's jump back. I wanted to pose that question because I was curious what you guys' thoughts were on it.
Right.
So based on the power of suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this issue starts off basically right, at the end of last one when you have Rorschach and Adrian Veidt and the mime and
Marionette.
In the owl. What's it called? The owl Archer.
Night Owl's lair or something.
Yeah, and they're trying to figure out where they're going. What's going to happen, how they're going to get out of there because they've kind of got themselves into a sticky situation.
Mm-hmm.
And what I really loved is I loved the way they gave, and this is a callback also to, the Watchmen series where they would do flashbacks that also at the same time that you're having present images.
Right.
So they would cross for the flashbacks and the two outside panels would be present or, vice versa, however they would arrange it for the needs. But I really loved getting to see the mime and Marionette and how they kind of got to prison, their history and how they got there. It was really, really telling that that's the memory that Adrian Veidt used specifically because it was related to Dr. Manhattan.
Yes.
And I didn't catch it the first time, but reading it again, I saw the reason why he stopped, the reason why he didn't, just wholesale kill them was because she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And she stepped in front of the mime.
Right.
He realized she was pregnant, so they ended up just going to jail and, having the baby in jail, and the baby's, gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really, really interesting. And it, of course, it's going to come back to play a bigger part, I'm sure, in later issues.
Okay. Wow, I totally missed that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, it's the ba-bum.
Yeah, well, that's because, right there.
Yep.
Yeah, and
yeah.
exactly. When I read it, I wasn't paying attention, and then, like I said, I read it again. I was like, oh.
Because
Yeah,
I
and-
thought it was missing a third ba-bum.
Yeah.
Like he's like looking at her like ba-boom, 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 you know, like, oh.
I see where you're.
Not in a saucy adult film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's because
Oh.
it was just focused here. And that's how I read it at first. And wow.
Now, the photo, did he,
So-
do you think he materialized it for them and showed, or
I think that's just for him.
that's
Yeah.
just for him? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was the
That's
lady.
their memory.
I thought the lady that she was threatening. You know, this.
Oh,
I bet
yeah, that's
boy.
her.
This boy loves his mommy. I bet mommy loves the boy too.
Oh,
Mommy better tell me how to unlock the safe.
gotcha. Right. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons Marionette's working with Ozymandias in the first place is he's promised to reunite, the Marionette with her son. So,
Right.
Yeah.
that's going to be. I find it very interesting that Ozymandias spent the first Watchmen series trying to get rid of Dr. Manhattan and doing anything he needs to, and now in this series he's doing anything he possibly can to find and bring back Dr. Manhattan.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Just parallel.
I'm completely wrong. It's not the same picture of the same boy. So yeah, he must have.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that
Maybe
he
it's that picture that she got in the first issue.
maybe it is.
That's it.
And that's why it's in color, because weren't all the past things
Yeah.
in black and white?
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So that's probably what it is. We're flipping back and forth.
And then you know, the one thing that's interesting is, he's tells him that he's the one who got rid of Dr. Manhattan, that forced him to go to another place. And, which always begs the question is, how is he going to find him? Well, then he, comes back with saying, because he leaves a trail. He's talking about the 4 things that keep you grounded.
Mhm.
And I can't think. One is gravity. One is
Right. I can't remember all 4 of them, but yeah, it's what we are all comprised of atoms and everything, and these 4 elements or whatever factors or whatever is what keeps us together. And because Dr. Manhattan went through 2 kind of phases of it, so he's leaking.
Yeah, leaking the radiation, the blue radiation, which I think is interesting when you think about where he's gone to.
Mm-hmm.
Which is now the DC universe. And that's basically how Veidt is going to follow him, is by following those leaky radiation.
Right. And evidently his cat is the compass.
Yes.
Right, yeah, which is interesting. It's not just a cat. It's not just an animal or a pet, like he said.
Right.
And I thought it was pretty cool the way they used the owl to basically quantum tunneling, I think he called it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes.
To get to the DC universe.
Right.
So.
And it has one of the greatest panels in its arrival.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean.
Oh yeah.
Coming through. Yeah, the bat signal, and it's the eyes, because there's a lot of comparison of the Night Owl and Batman, both the characters. With their similarities and stuff. So that was a very nice little nod there.
And also very similar to, the original Watchmen, when you did have them in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that kind of imagery was really, a callback to.
Yeah.
And I do like that they did do at least reference at this point, Dan and Juniper.
Spectre.
Jupiter.
Silk Spectre. God, I can't. Lori. Sorry.
Lori, yeah.
Yes.
Second.
So he's like, why didn't you go to them? It's like, well, that might not be the best thing to show him.
Yeah.
Dr. Manhattan again.
Right.
So that was pretty cool. And then they have them in the DC universe. Like now they're here. And I liked how they said that time moves different in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
Some things are a lot quicker, and then some things aren't. That's kind of interesting. I'm sure that'll play a little bit back into when we get further along in the story.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so far, just it's such a slow burn, and it's a good burn. But God, waiting a month between each issue, this is killer.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because this is actually set in a slight future of the DC universe. So this is coming. We haven't come to the events of this yet.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I believe it's set like a year from now, which I guess they're going to be actually building up. So by the time this is all done, the events will actually take place because Batman's pretty well liked right now, but apparently there's going to reach a point where Luthor declares war on metahumans and Batman is hated.
Mhm.
And that's not going on right now.
Right.
Right, and I guess you have this whole simmering subplot of the why are there so many metas, especially I guess U.S. metas,
Right.
Which is interesting because I don't follow a lot, but I do see the supplemental information that they have at the back of the book.
Yeah, and there's something about something green that may be the cause of it.
Yeah.
Which then, okay, was it kryptonite?
That just gives you cancer.
Oh, okay. Green Lantern?
I don't know.
green-
We'll
I
find
don't
out.
know.
Yeah.
Green
then-
Jello.
Oh, yum.
Oh, that's gross.
So much
Yeah,
more
that's
Jello.
personally. But I love we were talking about earlier. They were talking about the movie that they were walking by the movie theater guy, and you were talking about these are actually characters
Yes.
that are DC characters,
Yeah, Rex Mason, who is Metamorpho.
right?
And Kurt Langstrom, who is a Man-Bat.
Yeah.
So,
So that's pretty cool. They're kind of doing some interesting callbacks to kind of see how things connect in the larger story narrative.
Did anybody else with the Mime and Marionette feel a whole Joker Harley
oh yeah.
relationship thing there?
I got that kind of from the first issue,
Mhm.
Right.
and a little bit in this, but
To me, it solidified it in this issue.
yeah, although not as abusive. That I think they're actually kind of like in love with each other.
Right.
Right.
He doesn't seem to be abusive towards her or anything that we've seen. I
Right.
mean,
He's not as crazy as the Joker,
Yeah.
possibly.
Unhinged. He's not as unhinged. Yeah.
You're right.
What
Okay.
else?
I just want to make sure I wasn't the only one.
yeah, it's like they're the Joker Harley Quinn of the Watchmen universe.
Right.
Yeah.
And I do think it's really great that they go search out the smartest of the in that
Yes.
world, and it turns out to be Lex and Bruce.
And Bruce, right.
And naturally, who goes to whom? Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Those
One that-
encounters
that's-
are amazing, and it's a classic Lex. Like everything about that interaction was brilliant. Like
Mhm.
that's exactly how I would imagine that scenario happening.
Right.
And then
If you're the smartest from your world, I hate to meet the dumbest.
Yeah. Yeah. Because of what
Yeah.
what you did. You're telling me you did this, this, and this, and this.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah. And then I love, and I feel like this is gonna have a lot more impact later on. But I love when Vite says, "Don't touch anything,"
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like it's more than just leaving your fingerprints, but it's more like leaving this world touched. I guess kind of you're supposed to just observe. You're not supposed to interact. And I
Yeah.
feel like of course, what is
Rorschach do? He eats Batman's pancakes.
Like,
Man. Dude.
And then for a brief moment, I thought he killed Alfred. And this, because the way these panels go, it goes Rorschach, Batman, Rorschach, Batman,
Yeah.
But I didn't catch that at first. I just saw Rorschach and then a hand hitting somebody. I'm like, And then Rorschach walking down the stairs some, and I'm like, why did Rorschach kill Alfred? And then I'm like, well, wait, that's not Rorschach. And
Well, it was a Tuesday.
And did you catch like the page before that? Did you notice when Ozymandias talks to Rorschach, he calls him Reggie.
Yes, I was about to say that. We know his name now.
We know
We know
he's Reggie somebody.
from the Archie comics?
It must be.
I don't know. I mean, he could be Mr. October, Reggie Jackson.
Exactly.
He could.
But Rorschach makes some special note that Batman keeps trophies as reminders of his past,
Yeah.
and that's something that doesn't set well with him.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
And it is interesting, like, you know, Rorschach and Ozymandias both go to the person that best represents their ideals.
Yeah.
Because Rorschach probably would have killed Luthor, and vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah.
He must
No,
be
you're
a
absolutely
monster. Only a monster would keep trophies like this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Tokens and prizes from victims. It's how Kovacs caught so many animals. They couldn't let past go.
Yeah. And I think that's interesting that I'm sure that's going to have, you know, maybe some more effect later on. But I was kind of hoping that, you know, I know that you had mentioned before that the button had shown up in Batman's lair.
Mm-hmm.
I was really hoping for a path by and you seeing the button and maybe not seeing it or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like,
oh, well, there is, speaking of the button, there is that big reveal at the end of issue 2.
Who shot Lex?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, so the button does show back up, but it's on somebody.
It's its owner.
Yeah, it's on the comedian.
that's a shocker.
Dude. Yeah. When I saw Lex get shot, I'm like, what? And then they showed that panel, I was like, whoa.
But what's even better, well, not even better, but what's really great about it is anytime that Adrian Veidt has been tried to be taken out or whatever, he is always one step ahead of it.
Mm-hmm.
Even now, when he's, you know, has the cancer that, you know, is purported to having, and that kind of diminished, you know, capacity at some point, he's still able to, you know,
dodge.
Yeah, he's got the reflexes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And wow, yeah, you got me last time. I was drunk.
Yeah, amazing. So I mean that panel right there, my mind's okay. So did Dr. Manhattan in this universe create him as kind of a repentance kind of thing? You know, does he blame himself a little bit?
Maybe.
And he's trying to right a wrong there by bringing him back into this universe, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a lot of questions. Plus, what is he doing?
What happens next?
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of things. I mean, either the walls of reality are breaking down because of the two dimensions.
Things bleed
Dr.
over.
Manhattan could have done something where he rescued the comedian from the point of death and put him in there. You know how comics work. There's some thing where comedian is dead in their universe, and yet he's apparently standing here. Is it the same one we know? Is it like Rorschach 2, like how they did with this new guy?
Oh, right.
I hadn't even thought about
Yeah, because the mantle gets passed on.
They love their Jews in Watchmen, so this could be some successor that looks just enough.
Yeah, because he's got the button on, so it's not the button with the blood.
Right.
You know, the smiley face with the blood on it.
Okay, so it's the real button, yeah.
So it's not the button that showed up in the Batcave or anything from the Button series.
Okay.
And maybe it's just the way it's drawn, but there's no blood on this button.
Okay.
So read into that what you will.
Yeah.
Found a towel.
I love the Rorschach tests that are basically Bruce Wayne in front of his parents.
Yeah. No, those are really good. And I feel like upon further reading about it, it's going to be even more poignant and important. That imagery is really fascinating, and the fact that he has to do it every year, I kind of think that's an interesting.
That he has to do a psych test
for
every year.
insurance reasons. Yes.
Well, but he has to do this because one year he told the truth,
Right.
which I thought was an interesting little twist on that.
Yep.
But yeah, this series is like you said, Kaiser. It's a slow burn, but it's also so filled with so many things that it's just reading it is going to make it even better, I think.
Yeah, and you get that time to digest what you had between it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure after this, we'll probably I'm going to read it the first and the second back to back again, and then when the next one comes out, read it again through there and see. I'm going to catch more and more things.
Yeah. So. Sure. I mean, there are some interesting things because it's like, one of the biggest questions from a fan perspective, who are we going to see next? Are we going to see The Flash? Are we going to see Wonder Woman, Joker, Harley Quinn? They've all kind of been hinted at showing up at some point or another in this series. What of Night Owl and Silk Spectre? Are they going to interact in this story at all, or are they still underground with their new identities and new life? Have they truly stepped out of this story for all intents and purposes?
I feel that we have to see them at some point, even if it's just a happily ever after panel or something.
Right. Or, I mean, do we even get a glimpse of what is happening back over in the Watchmen world? Because, the clock's still ticking there on that side. The world possibly could come to an end.
Well, okay, didn't it already start?
Well, they had to do that missile in order to do the quantum thing. Yeah. It was kind of a catalyst for them.
Gotcha.
And Ozymandias doesn't care about wiping out a handful of people in order to,
after killing 3 million.
Right, exactly. A dozen people, big whoop. That's nothing now. So he's just got to do what he's got to do to get to where he needed to go. But it would be interesting to see kind of what's going on. See that in the news. That a little news clip about that. Maybe Night Owl and Silk Spectre see that and go. Maybe they go investigate.
The old hound.
And
I hope Night Owl loses his blonde perm. That was a fashion tragedy at the end of the Watchmen that I never got over.
Man, he's just trying to keep the Bob Ross
I guess.
idea alive, man.
He was so topical. Maybe he'll have
a man bun.
No, the knot heads, yeah.
A hair knob.
Or a pompadour, have it spiraling out to here.
Oh, like Egon?
Real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I sense a Photoshop contest.
But no, I mean, I'm super excited about this series. I mean, I'm really diving into DC through this comic, so I'm really excited, having fun with it. But let us know what you think about Doomsday Clock. It's the second issue. What are your thoughts? What are your hopes for this series? Tell us that, and have we hit on any of your theories or spoilers? So let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share this to everybody you know, and then some. And come back next month where we'll be giving you Doomsday Clock 3. But until then, as always, it's all geek to us.
Bye.
Tick,
TikTok, you don't stop. TikTok, you don't stop.
One more time.
90s old school.
Ooh.
Okay.
Copyright.